Ohayore desu. Watashi no namae wa Cyrus desu. Today's video is going to be a little different from what you're used to seeing on my channel, since I really want these memories to last a lifetime, and I also want to share it. This is my 5-day Japan trip, specifically Osaka. We were so damn lucky to pick a place in Japan where it has the most English speakers, at least according to my research, though that doesn't mean everyone knows English. My mom once tried to ask a Japanese waiter and he couldn't understand at all. That's what getting help is for. Big shout out to this guy and his family for guiding us through. Anyways, here's day 1. First day was absolutely horrible, but not entirely. It was horrible for 2 reasons. 1, it's such a hassle. I gotta be honest, going on a trip is not my favorite thing to do, constantly. Mostly due to the fact that it's such a hassle, which is understandable, but it's still a hassle. Imagine the agony of packing a lot of things, carrying a lot of stuff, making sure you have all the documents you need, worrying about missing flights or items, the frustration of waking up so goddamn early, or not sleeping at all, to go to an early flight in order to spend the rest of the day in that place. That's exactly what me and my family did when we traveled to Japan. We left home at 100 hours, and I don't think any of us slept, or at least me. I did not sleep at all, because I couldn't. I mean, come on, you really think I can get enough sleep after eating dinner at 1900 hours and expect me to wake up at 100 hours? Based on my research, most experts recommend eating dinner 2 to 4 hours before bedtime, not 10 minutes before bedtime. It was pure hell having to go through all that shit without getting any sleep before it. I seriously need to learn military sleep. I didn't eat breakfast since that'll make the flight a major disaster. I'm speaking from experience. I do not recommend this, but for me personally, eating before flying is not a good idea. I'll end up barfing. What I did instead is I sacrificed my hunger for food for 6 hours, if I recall correctly. But I do recall that I was able to eat only 1 meal that day, and it was dinner. I'm surprised I'm still alive right now. I only ate 1 meal in 1 day. I legit thought I would be buried alive inside of my own grave. I didn't have the time to eat lunch. We were all busy finding the hotel to crash in. It was a busy day, and all I did was complain and say stupid shit like, I wanna go home. I never wanna do this again, I swear. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I can't blame myself. I did not sleep and only ate 1 meal. Or was it 2 meals? My brain was barely awake, okay? That's the best way I can explain it scientifically. I mean, let me know down in the comments if you experienced it yourself. You woke up so goddamn early and you're so irrationally angry. Reason number 2, homesickness. I don't know why, there's just something about being in a completely unfamiliar place that can make me miss the comfort of my own home. It's like no matter how amazing the new place is, no matter how superior the new place is, there's still a part of me that longs for the Philippines, aka my home. That is a terrible feeling. Being homesick is terrible, especially when you're in the middle of an astonishing trip. All of a sudden, you start daydreaming about your cozy bed, your favorite TV shows, your computer, etc. The thing is, when you're away from home, you tend to remember only the good stuff and forget all the bad stuff like stress and responsibilities. So please, if you're having a trip to a faraway place, I highly suggest making the most of it. Focus on making new memories. Let go of your worries for a while and have fun in Japan or Australia or Uganda or wherever you want to go. Feeling homesick is normal, but I hate it. It's a mere distraction. Luckily, the majority of my trip wasn't filled with, I want to go home so badly, I didn't know what I had until it was gone. I only did that on the first day and somewhere in the second day. Thank God I managed to shut the up and look forward. As I did look forward, as I began to wake up, I started appreciating the plain awesomeness of Osaka. The streets were utterly gorgeous. It's full of life, full of personality, full of coldness. I swear, each corner offers a unique glimpse into the city's rich cultural tapestry. Food stalls line the streets, offering delicacies like takoyaki and my personal favorite, tanghulu. Every step I've taken on the streets made it impossible for me not to feel invigorated by the sheer liveliness of Osaka. Speaking of liveliness, Osaka at night is a whole new stupendous chapter. It is truly a sight to behold. The vibrant neon lights perfectly illuminated the whole place. I loved it. When it comes to Osaka, there is always something for everyone to discover. Now let's talk about this hotel. First off, I love how they serve you breakfast every morning as long as you have certain cards. Second, the rooms are good enough for me. The bathrooms are exactly what I expected. They're cool. I love how they shoot water up your ass. I've been doing that in the Philippines as well. One problem though. I mean, come on, is there any reason why the light switch has to be outside the bathroom, but not inside? Like, imagine if your roommate accidentally pressed the wrong button and you are in the shower. it'll be a freaking live action horror movie. It'll be cool. One thing to note is that you're not allowed to wear shoes once you enter. You have to keep your shoes in a locker and get slippers that's in the locker. Then you make sure you remember the password so you can get your shoes back. I honestly don't mind that system. So that was the first day. Not entirely horrendous, but it was fun. The second day is where it began to get really good. It started with a simple yet effective breakfast. Broccolis in a bowl with chopsticks. Who doesn't like that? Well, of course, the people who gave in to the broccolis are disgusting bandwagon. How do you know if you don't like it, if you won't try it? Perfect Scottish accent, mate. Seriously, I don't know where the hell this stereotype came from. Broccolis are cool. Anywho, the second day is filled with long bus rides, which I'm honestly a sucker for. Long bus rides are simply the best. It feels comfortable, especially when you have your favorite songs ready. Music has its way of making everything more vibrant, especially bus rides. The gorgeous passing scenery becomes a backdrop to my own personal soundtrack. It enhances every moment with perfectly chosen songs. You ladies need to try this out. Long bus rides while listening to your favorite songs. Unless you hate long rides or unless you hate music in general. Anyhow, first location was the Shimizu Temple, which was mind-blowingly great. Just look at this big-ass Astro Cat and this giant... What is that? Not to mention the awe-inspiring architectures. I don't know the history behind any of this. I don't care. Do I need to? I don't know anything about this place, yet I was blown away by how awesome it looks. Goes to show that you don't need to learn the history of an artwork or an architecture just to enjoy it. The same thing can be said for the next location, Fushimi Inari. It's basically a big-ass mountain. Who cares that I'm not familiar with the backstory of this place? That won't change the fact that I had the time of my life climbing that son of a bitch. When I finally reached the top, I was at the top of my game. Here's a picture of me at the very top. Kidding, I continued climbing from there. Now here's a picture of me at the very top. Kidding again, I kept on climbing and climbing and climbing until I finally made it. This is me at the very, very top. Kidding once again, I never made it to the top. There was no time, I'm sorry. Final location was the Nara Park. Very popular for the friendly deers. Oh, sorry, the plural of deer is actually just deer. Wow. English language sucks. Despite that I didn't see any sakuras bloom, these guys were the highlight. I couldn't believe how close I was able to get to them while they wander around freely. At first I was skeptical, but then I realized they're docile creatures. They don't attack humans. I was thinking of mooses, aren't I? It was fun interacting with them and watching them interact with other people. They're just so friendly and cute. You see what I'm talking about, Luz? You shouldn't have brought snakes to school. Bring these guys instead. They don't bite. Imagine if that happened in the pilot. Would she still go to the boiling aisles? Whatever. Dinner time. I still can't believe my dad was ready to pay for all that. We went to this fancy restaurant called Wanomiya Kobe Beef. It is where we ate Wagyu A5 for the first time. Nah, I'm joking. The first time we tried Wagyu was way back in the Philippines.
This is my first time trying Wagyu. Yeah, it's like spam.
Also, this is not my second time trying Wagyu because it's not Wagyu at all. It's Kobe beef. It's A5 Wagyu, end of story. Anyway, the Wagyu was obviously magnificent. What else were you expecting me to say? Anyone who eats meat will immediately fall in love with this beautiful piece of work, especially in medium rare. But I don't think they'll fall in love with the price. If I recall correctly, it was 95,000 yen, which translates to 35,792 pesos. I can literally buy 2 Nintendo Switches for that price. Not to mention, it is much more expensive than my tuition fee in college. Yeah, it's that expensive. And keep in mind, the policy is 1 steak per person. So 95,000 times 5.
No.
I enjoyed this meal, but I swear I'm never doing this again. The price was too high for me, I'm sorry. Even the chef himself was aware. I remember one time he said to me, "Very good price." Yeah, it's a very good price, alright. It's a very good price for... Damn, I had the perfect roast. Here's what I'm gonna do instead. I'm gonna time you out for 80,000. Have a good night. I personally do not recommend this to anyone who wants to save money, but if you do have enough, try it out. It's delicious. This restaurant looks astonishing inside out, and the chef's a cool guy. Day 3 was the worst. Yeah, baby. There was no bus that time, so we walked all day, with a couple of train rides. At least it was worth it. And I mean really worth it. Ladies and ladies, I present to you the Osaka Castle. This goddamn museum is unlike anything I've ever seen, simply because I've never been to many museums in my life, so it's no surprise that this blew me away. The exterior is majestic. It truly is something that leaves me feeling exhilarated by the downright magnificence of human craftsmanship. But let me tell you, that's nothing compared to the interior. Entering this monstrosity for the first time was so intense, I felt like I was going to face the final boss of Elden Ring, even though I never played that game. Too bad people are not allowed to take pictures or or shoot videos inside. I think the reason is to keep the history. I don't know, I just can't film or picture inside. All you need to know is that it's 100% worth waiting in line for. The next location is the motherfucking skyscraper, which was the best part. Why wouldn't it be? The insane design looks futuristic and it's huge. This place had me feeling like a Minimoy in front of a Happy Meal toy that I got from McDonald's, and the Happy Meal was from a Japanese science fiction movie. The building is 173 meters tall. That includes the tip. To reach the top, you have to take the elevators and ride escalators through a glass tunnel that gives you a view of the city below. You also have to take the stairs. Once you do reach the top, you can see almost everything. I just couldn't believe my eyes when I was there. I was on the top of the world. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. It's just so goddamn high. I almost cried. Not because I'm afraid of heights, but because I'm afraid of leaving this place a little too early. We were only there for 1.5 hours. The Umeda Sky building is one of the best things Japan has ever made. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but if you can handle heights, the Umeda Sky building is the place to be. Before I did reach the top, I got to see a bunch of stunning artwork that I was allowed to take pictures of. Flashes were prohibited though. I almost forgot to mention that there was an anime short film about the Sky building. It was cool. Lastly, me and the gang rode the boat at night, which was equivalent to dreaming about Osaka. Right now, all I do is dream about Osaka. I really want to go back. If you ever plan on riding this boat at night, I recommend doing this. As the boat ride begins, start listening to Japanese songs that perfectly captures the spirit of this place, such as LLLD by Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Siren by Passcode, and Clouds Across the Moon by Passcode. That is exactly what I did, and it turned this into an unforgettable experience. From now on, whenever I listen to those songs, I will always be reminded of this moment. Also, props to this woman for giving us a wonderful tour around the place. Day 4 is the main event. The best day we had in Japan without a doubt. It was the day we went to the Universal Studios Japan, a massive theme park filled with roller coasters, Mario Karts, and yeah, that was all the rides I was able to get into. It was filled with too many people. I spent nearly all day waiting in extremely long lines that lasted for nearly 2 hours each, or 2.5 hours. I got into a total of 3 rides only. A roller coaster, the same roller coaster, and then finally Bowser's Castle in Nintendo World. And then we went back. I know that sounds pretty sad, but I don't care. I still had a lot of fun exploring the whole place, shopping for Peanuts plush toys, browsing accessories and foods with my siblings. Actually, most of the fun I had was listening to Dance, Give, and Dance while waiting in line. Look how long this line is. Thank God for Dance, Give, and Dance. I love this band. But Dance, Give, and Dance is nothing compared to Nintendo World. I know there are lots of other places to check out like Jaws, Jurassic Park, Snoopy Land, Waterworld, but god damn it, I don't care. Nintendo World was the biggest reason we went to Japan in the first place, so it became my priority. I did have to wait until 3 p.m. because apparently it's fully loaded. Nonetheless, it's okay if you arrive late. Show your ticket and you're in Nintendo World. I first heard about this place back in 2021. I tried my best not to get jealous at the people who made videos about it on YouTube until me and my family finally decided to go to Japan. And Nintendo World is exactly what I expected. It's simply jaw-dropping. Entering this place was like stepping into a virtual reality Mario game, except it's not virtual, it's reality. But what is virtual reality was the ride in Bowser's Castle. I wasn't allowed to record my ride, but I'm happy to say that I successfully and enthusiastically said the N-word with the hardest R possible while playing the game. I literally channeled my inner gamer with that. Try it out yourself. The attention to detail in every corner in Nintendo World was astounding. As a massive Wario and Waluigi fan, I was perfectly satisfied with everything, from the characters meeting people to the meticulously designed replicas of iconic game settings. With all of the stress I had to pull through nowadays, it's such a breath of fresh air to be a little kid again. Without a doubt, my time in Nintendo World was perfect. It brought the magic of gaming to life in ways I never thought possible. And let's not forget Toad Cafe, or Kinopio Cafe. To tell you the truth, I had no idea that it was called Kinopio Cafe. My brother kept on telling me, "Hey, meet us in the Toad Cafe." Where the hell is the Toad Cafe? Is there even a Toad Cafe? I asked around, and one Japanese woman told me she's never heard of Toad Cafe within Nintendo World. She said Kinopio Cafe is the only cafe there. I haven't heard of that name in a long time. I do know it's from the Mario franchise, but I couldn't remember who it was, so I launched my emulator to play Mario Kart Fighter. I chose Toad to confirm, and his name is Kinopio in-game, which helped me remember. Toad is Kinopio. Therefore, Toad Cafe is Kinopio Cafe. He could have just told me Kinopio Cafe then. If you were to meet up with someone at McDonald's, are you gonna say, "Hey, meet me at McDonald's"? Say Kinopio Cafe, okay? Toad Cafe was awesome, by the way. They had all sorts of Mario-themed dishes. I got the Mario Burger, I think that's what it's called. They also had an entire animation of Toad doing stuff in the kitchen. Here's the entire animation recorded by my sister.
I'm willing to stand like this for a while.
体を動かすことも好きですよ。テニスとかゴルフとか、そうそう、それに読書も大好きです。旅行も食べ歩きも家庭菜園も一つに決められない。あれ、何の話してましたっけ？そうそう、ここ農業カフェでは全てが一級品ばかりですよ。ジューシーなお肉料理、炊きたてのご飯、爽やかなドリンクにとっても落ちるデザート。中でもおすすめはやっぱりハゲのムックのデザート。何が入ってるかはお楽しみ。こちらが本日のメニューです。決められないでしょ。お腹いっぱい召し上がってください。この先に進んでいただきますとオーダーステーションがありますので、そこで注文してください。おっと、鍋が吹きこぼれちゃいそう。では皆さん、お楽しみください。
Overall, Universal Studios Japan was grandiose. From the moment I stepped foot into the park, I knew I was about to get into something that I'll never forget for as long as I live. The roller coaster ride was insane. I was riding all around the park. It gets more insane when you have the option to choose a song before the ride starts. It's either 3 Japanese songs that I'm not familiar with, Shake It Off by Taylor Swift, or Bad by MJ. I rode this bad boy 2 times and I chose Bad for both rides. I'm still waiting till the day I listen to Bad again. If I do listen to Bad again, my PTSD will trigger. Actual PTSD, okay? Stupid moron. The Mario Kart ride in Bowser's Castle was an anomaly of theme park rides. The state-of-the-art technology made me feel like I was truly a part of the action. Too bad I can't record what I went through, but trust me, it's worth more than 10,000 A5 Wagyus. I'm not exaggerating. And when it was time to leave, I felt sad, knowing that I'll probably never experience this again. Unless I'll earn enough money to go to Osaka myself, or Universal Studios will be available in the Philippines someday. Think about it. Universal Studios in the Philippines? Nintendo World in the Philippines? If they're not gonna build that, then at least build Sega World. Who wouldn't want that? I'm hoping for a Sega World someday. But for now, goodbye Nintendo World, goodbye Universal Studios. Thank you so much for everything. Day 5 is simply going home early in the morning. This time, no more 100 hours. We woke up at 6:30, thank God. I had one last Japanese breakfast and we're off to the Philippines. It sucks that we only had 5 days. I know that seems to be enough, but have at least 2 more days in the Universal Studios, bruv. It was too good for me to let go so early. To be completely frank, I actually wanted to stay. It's so much better there than in the Philippines. But we had to go home. We got responsibilities back there. We took flight at noon and went back to our house at 1600 hours. As we drove back home, I listened to Back Home by Owl City. And you should too. Listening to this song is perfect if you just got back from a trip far away from home. It really makes you feel like there's no place like home. I didn't give this song nor this album a chance because it sounded different than his other albums, but after being open-minded, I hope everyone does too, I made one of the best decisions in my life, listening to Back Home by Owl City while going home. It's pure magic. All in all, I had a fantastic time in Japan. The coldness is something I was able to get used to, and I liked it in general, even though it almost gave me frostbite one time. Osaka was delightful, especially at night. The architectures were insane, climbing the mountain was fun, the museums and the Nara Park were cool, the boat ride was excellent, the foods were on a masterclass level including the street foods, although some were too much, and the Universal theme park changed my life forever. The Japanese citizens were nice. Mostly all of them were very welcoming. They greeted me with kindness as if they're my friends. I appreciate that, but I always find it uncomfortable. Not because it's a bad thing, but because of who I am as a person. I'm a reserved introvert. Expressing my emotions to people and talking to people are both uncomfortable activities for me. That sounded so pathetic. I need to change myself. Nah, I'm used to it. Shut up! Speaking of Japanese citizens, what is up with the women? Why are they all so beautiful? Why are a lot, if not all Japanese women are so beautiful? Even regular, unprofessional women look like they're ready for a fashion shoot. What is going on? Is there some sort of beauty virus spreading across the country? If so, then did I catch the virus? I want to look beautiful as well. I remember one time, a Japanese waitress tried to speak English. She said, "Excuse me." Oh, that was so hot. Why can't Filipino women be as beautiful as Japanese women? Better yet, why did I have to be born as— No, don't go there. Speaking of women, while I was waiting in line for the roller coaster in Universal Studios, I met 3 Japanese women. They were very nice. Coincidentally, they're all 22 years old like me. 3 coincidences in a row. Wow. It's extremely depressing that I'll never see them again, because I didn't ask for their phone numbers or anything. I felt like it would be too early since I only met them once and I'll never see them again. But they will see me again and again and again since I brought up my YouTube channel. But I really wanted to be friends with them. Too bad Japan is a big place and I didn't get any of their numbers. Aoi-san, Misaki-san, Mika-san, ima kono doga o mite iru kata wa zehi. Konnichiwa, soshite eiin ni sayonara. Whatever, let's look at the things I bought from Japan. So here are the things that I bought from Japan. First off, let's start with the best. I don't exactly know what this is called. Let me know down in the comments. But for now, let me just call it a singular drumlet, because it's just one drum and it's small. Initially, I was planning on giving this to one of my coworkers as an appreciation for all their hard work while I was away. But after playing with it, why would I give this away? So this is my mini katana. It looks really cool. Obviously, it's fake. Just like this one, I was planning on giving this to one of my coworkers, but nah. And there's his father right there. No, I did not get that from Japan. I got that from the cosplay event when I was cosplaying as Ben 10. Anyway, here is I don't know what this is supposed to be. Some sort of keychain, I assume, because of this thing. So this is Japanese Snoopy from Bon Voyage Snoopy. Look at his hands. That's cool. One thing I learned about Japan is that Japanese people are so obsessed with these guys, the Peanuts gang. And that's because Japanese people are so obsessed with cute characters, which I can relate to. So I got a large version and small version of Snoopy and Charlie Brown because the large version originally it was supposed to be for me, and the small version originally, once again, this was supposed to be a gift for my coworkers as an appreciation while I was away, but dude, why would I throw these away? They look so cool. I got this from Universal Studios. This also from Universal Studios. This also from Universal Studios. And then this guy, he's from Universal Studios, Harry Potter World. I don't even care about Harry Potter at all. I'm not even a big fan of Harry Potter, let alone a fan of Harry Potter. So, but I bought this guy nonetheless because I love owls. I love Owl City, so might as well get an owl for my house. And as for this guy, I didn't buy him from USJ, let alone anywhere in Japan. I actually bought him from Shopee. I was initially planning on buying a large version of Snoopy. He looks exactly like this, and he has about the same size as this guy, but there was no time, so I bought this guy instead. And he looks freaking cool. Honestly, I'm glad I went with this. So yeah, that's all the things that I bought from Japan. My siblings got a lot of Pokemon toys, unsurprisingly. And my sister bought some sort of chocolate frog that she got from Harry Potter World. So yeah, that's about it. What do I think of Japan as a country, all in all? Well, I think it's a horrible country! I once visited an anime merch store. They did not have a single Fist of the North Star figurine, let alone a t-shirt of Fist of the North Star. Tell me why! Tell me why! Why would they forget that? How could they forget a classic anime? Instead, I saw My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, Stupid X Family, etc. without Fist of the North Star. How dare you forget such an influential and classic anime? Shame on you, Japan. 0 out of 10. Never coming back again.